said a while ago that if we are going to let Bangsamoro to be independent, we will have almost 110 independent.
Should.
Yes. Then, if you, I'm asking you, sir, if you are aware, why does Bangsamoro fighting for independence? That's all, sir.
You know, nationalism.
Let me hold you off here. So, am I to because this is another debate even among Muslims, as I understand it. What is the objective of those who claim to speak for the Moros? Is it independence? Is it self-government? What is it?
Actually, the Bangsamoro wants to lead themselves because, as according to the Islamic point of view, as a Muslim, being as a Muslim, if you want to live in a Muslim area, it should be the government, the people who leads must be the Muslim, and that is why the Bangsamoro is fighting, because not actually fighting, but they are actually wanted to get their own. But if we are going to look for the past, we will see that Bangsamoro actually is they own the land, but because the history nakita naman natin sa history na biglang nasali ang Mindanao, particularly yung place ng ARM or yung Mindanao, nasali sa Philippines. Kung titingnan natin yung history, actually hindi siya nasali yung according sa history. But yung sa Bangsamoro, that's why kaya nila gustong magkaroon ng self-governance is that para ma-establish nila yung Islamic Islam point of view.
Yes, and I think that's what I was saying, Manolo, that's the same thing as the Southern Confederacy seceding from the United States. They wanted to have their own form of culture. But before Sharif Kabunsuan arrived in 1511, what was here? There were probably 1 million Lumads who were not Muslims. They came and also colonized Mindanao, just like anybody else. Sharif Kabunsuan was a prince from Malucas. He was a foreigner as much as any Spaniard, like Magellan, except he came about 20 years before Magellan arrived. So what I'm saying is that we're all at fault. We're all oppressors. We're all colonialists. You know, we're all imperialists. We all have sins against one another. There's no doubt about that. I know why the Bangsamoro are fighting. It's because they're disadvantaged. They're being oppressed. You know, the Marcos made war on them in the 1970s. And I don't blame them. If I was Bangsamoro, I would fight too. But we need to rise above that. Now is the time for us to realize that that's the wrong way. War is not the way. You know, war is not the way. I know that Islam is a religion of peace. And I think what it is this. Compassion is what gets us started towards unity. But enlightened self-interest is what makes us serious about it. And I think that's what we must come to realize, is that this way leads to death, destruction, and endless war. This division on maps, on territories, and history, we must forget all of that. You know, that's really all in the wash. Let's call it even Steven. You know, the Moros raided as far as Caliraya, and they carried off thousands of Christians to be sold into slavery in Borneo, into harems. You know, and of course the Spanish came and then they did the same to the Moros, the Americans too. But all human beings and all countries, look at Russia, Georgia, and South Ossetia. It's the same thing as Malaysia, the Philippines, and Mindanao now. So I think now is the time for Moros, Christians, Lumads, everyone in this country to make a choice. Is it division, separation, apartheid, or should we reach out in the darkness and say, no, we're going to stick together?
Now let me bring in at this point. You've heard this impassioned plea from Dean. You've pointed out that from the point of view of Islam, if you are to live in a righteous manner, it should be under a government that is ruled by Sharia law, and that is where the political control is in the hands of Muslims. So it seems, even if we were filled with goodwill, you would still reach the point where, how do you do that under the present political system? Is the only way an amicable divorce from your point of view? Or is there still a way to work it out? Because this is basically the whole question confronting everyone now with this agreement with the MILF. I'd like your opinion on it.
Yes, we have another comment here from Maru.
Good evening, sir. Before anything else, I would like to emphasize this phrase of mine that Islam is a way of life, and we believe in that. All of us, the Muslims, we believe that Islam is the real path of, you know, doing anything in this, I mean, in this world, no? In terms of government, in terms of, you know, relating with people and so on. So, what is this? Tanggalin man po natin yung ancestral domain. Isipin na lang natin na hindi yun yung pinaglalaban namin sa Mindanao, na hindi namin pinaglalaban na kunin lang yung lupa namin. Pero yung pinaglalaban namin dito is yung religion namin, Islam. And I believe, and we believe that we have the right to fight for this. And that is jihad, no? We die for the name of our God, the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then we die for that, and then afterwards, of course, we are what is this? We are fighting for our land, because in history, ganun na po diba? Andun na I mean, the Mindanao is, hindi yan, kumbaga sa history, amin yan sa Bangsamoro, and that's why we are fighting for this. And basically, yun lang, ang gusto kong maano na, it is the Sharia law, wherein, yun yung gusto namin i-emphasize dito. Kasi kung may ibibigay naman doon, for sure, wala hong war na magaganap. We don't want that, basically.
So, am I correct in assuming that, for example, if let's work this through in stages together. If the government said today that in the present ARMM, let's not even talk about anywhere else, that the law that will apply is Sharia law, would that be a major achievement for the Moro population in the ARMM?
Basically, yes, sir. No, I remember this, a professor in our campus, the Mindanao State University main campus, Dr. Nasruddin Guro, he told us that kung ang isang bansa lang, kunwari sa Mindanao, ang mapo-follow lang Sharia law, ang corruption matatanggal. Bakit? Kasi kung Sharia law daw susundan, lahat daw siguro ng mga nasa politics, tatanggalan ng mga limes, things like that. Kasi sa amin po, we believe that nandun ho yung discipline. Yun lang yung discipline lang nandun na po dun sa Sharia law, yung tinatawag naming Sharia law. And we could only imagine that those ideas, we believe that this is a very, very big achievement of each and every one of us. So that is why we're really fighting for this.
Now, let me take it one step further by asking you. I don't think anyone would freak out if we were only talking about ARMM. Ang problema ngayon, dahil merong mga proposals na unang-una, i-expand yung ARMM, even though in some areas, ang mga Muslim mismo, tutol sila sa expansion na yun based on past referendum. And third, beyond that, meron pang pangatlong expansion based on the deal we were looking at. Now, so, sa point of view naman ng mga Kristiyano, yung mga iba wala silang pakialam kung ano yung mga ginagawa ng gobyerno, sila lumipat na sila doon. And all of a sudden, and I've been hearing this, and I think it's only fair for us to talk about it, sa kanilang pananaw, if there is a recognition of ancestral domain, kung merong papasok na ibang sistema ng pamamahala sa mga ibang lugar na ito, at nandoon sila, anong mangyayari sa kanila?
Sir, again, in Islam, no, we are peace-loving. Hindi ho kami mamamatay tao. Yun lang po yung doon, importante doon. We take good care of them, no? Kung pupunta ho kayo sa Marawi City, you will see it. Hindi, wala ho, for me ho kasi, wala namang pong place na hindi ho tayo pwede pumunta na walang gulo or what. But basically, nakikita ho kasi natin sa media yung mga yung mga, kumbaga yung minsan mali. Pero kami, ako mismo, yung nakikita ko doon at yung mga kasama namin, hindi ho yun problema. Kumbaga, hindi ho sila dapat matakot. Kasi in Islam, we are giving them their freedom to choose, no? Kung Christianity pa rin, it's all right. That's it. We don't actually, we don't have to debate on this thing.
Sir, we have a follow-up question,
We have one
from
question.
Robbie, one of our text viewers. He asks, why worry about BJE? A plebiscite will determine areas that don't want to join. Isn't that reasonable?
No, it's not reasonable at all. And I would say that every religion has taken this attitude at one time or another. And that's why the Crusades massacred thousands, tens of thousands of Muslims when they had that kind of philosophy that this young lady is espousing. And now, here's the thing. I think the solution to people who believe in religion like Islam is really democracy. You know, there is a There's a very famous BBC survey that was done in Iraq. And they asked,